Suffering is a word we often associate with pain, discomfort, and hardship. It's something we instinctively avoid. In a world designed for convenience, where we chase comfort and instant gratification, the idea of deliberately forcing oneself to suffer might sound absurd. Yet, it is through intentional suffering, the kind that molds character and sharpens resolve, that we uncover the deepest and most meaningful dimensions of life. To force yourself to suffer is not to embrace misery for misery's sake. It is about choosing the hard path when the easy one beckons. It is about understanding that every great achievement, every profound transformation demands sacrifice, perseverance, and discomfort. In essence, it's about enduring the short-term pain for long-term gain. Consider the athlete who pushes their body to its absolute limits, enduring hours of grueling training and aching muscles. They don't do this because they enjoy the pain, they do it because they have a vision of crossing the finish line, breaking records, or standing victorious. Without their willingness to embrace suffering, their goals remain unreachable. The same principle applies to every facet of life. Growth is not a product of ease, but of effort. If you avoid suffering, you also avoid growth. The most significant leaps in our personal, professional, and spiritual lives come when we step into discomfort, challenge ourselves, and refuse to settle for the status quo. Think about the times when you achieved something that truly mattered to you. Maybe it was earning a degree, landing a job, or starting a business. Did it come easily? Chances are it required late nights, sacrifices, and moments of self-doubt. The satisfaction you felt wasn't just about the result. It was about knowing you endured the hardship and emerged stronger on the other side. When we force ourselves to suffer, we tap into an inner reservoir of strength that we might not even know exists. We discover resilience, grit, and determination. These qualities cannot be cultivated in the lap of luxury or the arms of comfort. They are forged in the fires of adversity. Consider this: the most inspiring stories in human history are not of those who had everything handed to them, but of those who endured unimaginable suffering and rose above it. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, enduring harsh conditions and separation from his family. Yet, he emerged not bitter, but determined to lead his country toward reconciliation and freedom. Would his impact have been as profound without the suffering he endured? Forcing yourself to suffer also teaches discipline. In a world where distractions are endless, discipline is a rare and valuable asset. It's the ability to say no to fleeting pleasures and yes to long-term goals. It's waking up early to work on your dream, even when the warmth of your bed tempts you to stay. It's choosing to eat healthy when junk food calls your name. Discipline is suffering in the moment to reap rewards in the future. There's a mental toughness that comes with embracing suffering. Life is unpredictable, and challenges will come whether we like it or not. By intentionally exposing ourselves to difficulty, we prepare for those moments. When we train our minds and bodies to handle discomfort, we build a fortress of resilience that can withstand any storm. But there's another layer to this concept. Forcing yourself to suffer is not just about personal growth, it's about contributing to something greater than yourself. Think of the parent who works 2 jobs to provide a better future for their children. Their suffering is a sacrifice made out of love and purpose. It's a testament to the power of enduring hardship for the benefit of others. In our pursuit of success and meaning, we must recognize that suffering is not an obstacle, but a catalyst. It's the soil in which the seeds of greatness are planted. Each time we push through pain, doubt, or fear, we inch closer to the person we are meant to become. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we imagined. Yet many of us shy away from suffering because it's uncomfortable. We choose the easy road, the path of least resistance. But comfort is a silent thief. It robs us of potential, of the chance to test our limits and discover what we're truly made of. Comfort keeps us stagnant, while suffering propels us forward. This is not to say that suffering should be aimless or unproductive. The suffering we force upon ourselves should have purpose. It should align with our values and goals. There's a difference between self-inflicted pain that leads to growth and unnecessary hardship that leads nowhere. The former is transformative, the latter is destructive. When you force yourself to suffer, you also cultivate gratitude. The sweet moments in life become even sweeter when they follow struggle. The joy of success is magnified when you fought hard for it. The peace of rest feels earned after a day of toil. Suffering sharpens our appreciation for life's blessings. Forcing yourself to suffer also fosters empathy. When you endure hardship, you gain a deeper understanding of what others might be going through. You become more compassionate, more willing to lend a helping hand. Suffering has a way of softening our hearts, even as it strengthens our spirits. There's a spiritual dimension to this as well. Many religious and philosophical traditions teach the value of suffering as a path to enlightenment, redemption, or transcendence. Whether it's fasting, meditation, or acts of self-denial, these practices remind us that enduring discomfort can bring us closer to our true selves and to the divine. In forcing ourselves to suffer, we confront our fears. Fear of failure, fear of pain, fear of the unknown, these are barriers that hold us back. But when we face them head on, we strip them of their power. We learn that fear is an illusion, a shadow that disappears when we shine the light of courage upon it. Suffering also humbles us. It reminds us that we are not invincible, that we have limits. But in recognizing those limits, we find the drive to push past them. We learn to rely on our faith, our community, and our inner strength. Suffering brings us face to face with our vulnerabilities, but it also reveals our strengths. So how do we embrace this concept in practical terms? Start small. Take cold showers to build mental toughness. Set ambitious goals that stretch you beyond your comfort zone. Practice delayed gratification by saving money instead of spending it impulsively. Challenge yourself to learn a new skill, even if it feels daunting. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to grow, who challenge you to be better. Iron sharpens iron, and the company you keep will influence your willingness to endure hardship. Seek mentors who have walked the path of intentional suffering and emerged victorious. Learn from their experiences and let their stories motivate you. Reflect on your purpose. Why are you willing to suffer? What drives you? When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, the pain becomes bearable. It becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Remember, the pain is temporary, but the growth is permanent. The suffering you endure today will become the strength you carry tomorrow. The discomfort you face now will pave the way for a future filled with possibilities. Force yourself to suffer, not out of masochism, but out of a deep desire to grow, to contribute, and to live a life of meaning. Embrace the struggle, for it is the crucible in which greatness is forged. Let the fire of suffering refine you, purify you, and transform you into the person you were meant to be. Let's dive deeper into the essence of why suffering holds transformative power and how embracing it shapes not just the individual, but also the community, the society, and even the generations to come. When you force yourself to suffer, you become a beacon of what is possible. People are watching you, whether you realize it or not. They see your struggles, your perseverance, and your triumphs. In choosing to endure the hard path, you inspire others to do the same. Your willingness to suffer creates a ripple effect. It tells others that they too can overcome their limitations, that they too can strive for something greater than themselves. The world needs examples of this kind of grit and determination. We live in a time when people are inundated with messages of quick fixes and instant gratification. Social media often paints a picture of effortless success, where achievements seem to come without struggle. But deep down, we all know the truth. Anything worth having requires effort, sacrifice, and the willingness to endure. When you force yourself to suffer, you peel back the layers of superficiality. You discover what truly matters. Struggle has a way of revealing your priorities. It strips away the noise and distractions and brings clarity to your purpose. In the silence of hardship, you hear the whispers of your soul guiding you toward what is meaningful and enduring. This process also teaches you patience. In a fast-paced world, patience is a rare virtue. But when you commit to the long haul, when you endure the discomfort of slow progress, You cultivate a sense of trust in the process. You understand that growth is not immediate, that transformation takes time. Patience becomes your ally, allowing you to persist when others give up. Moreover, suffering strengthens your relationship with failure. Most people fear failure because they associate it with shame or inadequacy. But when you willingly step into situations where failure is a possibility, you reframe it. You see failure not as the end, but as a stepping stone. You learn to fail forward, extracting lessons from each setback and using them to fuel your next attempt. In forcing yourself to suffer, you also become intimately acquainted with your limits and how to push beyond them. Human beings are incredibly adaptive creatures. What once seemed impossible can become second nature through persistence. Each time you face a challenge and overcome it, you expand your capacity. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Let's not overlook the beauty of self-respect that arises from suffering. When you force yourself to endure discomfort, you earn your own respect. You look in the mirror and see someone who doesn't back down, who doesn't quit. This self-respect is invaluable. It forms the foundation of confidence, not the superficial kind that relies on external validation, but the deep, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you have walked through the fire and come out stronger. There's a deeper paradox here, one that might surprise you. In forcing yourself to suffer, you actually find freedom. At first glance, suffering and freedom seem like opposites. But think about it. When you master your impulses, when you discipline yourself to endure pain, you free yourself from being a slave to comfort. You gain control over your mind and body. You become the master of your fate, no longer bound by the chains of complacency or fear. This freedom extends to your choices. When you embrace suffering, you realize that you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond. This mindset is liberating. It shifts your perspective from victimhood to empowerment. You understand that while you cannot always control external events, you can control your attitude and actions. Another powerful outcome of embracing suffering is the ability to face the unknown with courage. Life is full of uncertainties, and the fear of the unknown can paralyze us. But when you've willingly endured discomfort, you develop a resilience that allows you to step into the unknown with confidence. You trust in your ability to adapt and overcome, no matter what challenges arise. This courage is contagious. When you force yourself to suffer and rise above it, you give others permission to do the same. You show them that fear can be conquered, that discomfort can be embraced, and that growth is possible. Your life becomes a testament to the power of perseverance, and that inspiration can change the lives of those around you. It's important to recognize that this journey is not linear. There will be moments when the suffering feels overwhelming, when you question whether it's worth it.